All right, hello, welcome back out to the shop. I know it's been a while. May is a very, very busy time for me at my day-to-day job. Many of you know I work for Daimler Trucks. We build Freightliner and Western Star Class 8 trucks. We're the largest manufacturing plant in the U.S. And May is particularly busy because we do usually a commemorative truck to memorialize the veterans, or to celebrate the veterans, I should say, might be a better word. And this year we did 3 of them. If you follow along on the channel, you've seen where we did the build video for the Western Star Class 8 truck that we did. Well, we ended up doing 3 this year, and it was super busy. And I had to tear down a lot of my video equipment so I could do a live stream the Thursday before Memorial Day. So I wasn't able to do a lot of filming, but in the shop. And I haven't been doing a lot of stuff in the shop. Also, you know, we're a union plant, and our contract came up in April. And right now we're, you know, it's a complicated contract, but the majority of the plants voted it down. So we're in a day-to-day extension, and anybody who's ever worked for a big company knows you don't spend money not knowing you're going to have a job or not. So I would just soon squirrel away some money just in case the bad happens, which I don't think it will, but it's, you know, I'm going to be a Boy Scout and I'm going to be prepared. So I have been buying some small stuff here and there. A lot of this stuff was already purchased, and I was going to show today. But the big stuff like the material for the jib crane and the rotary phase converter that I need to put in for the lathe, I'm just holding off on that kind of stuff. I really need to buy a mill. I want a big one, but you know, I might just have to buy a smaller Tormach or something like that just to get me by until, you know, things get better. So, but it's coming to the point I about got to have one. The material for the jib crane's not expensive, and we'll probably go ahead and order that. I've squirreled away enough money that you know it's not too bad right now, but and things are looking good, you know, for the truck market and the economy in whole. So anyway, that's a whole nother story. But while we're here, I thought I'd show you some stuff that I have purchased. And most everybody follows Adam Booth and A-Bomb, and he had some suggestions and stuff. And I didn't know this stuff even existed, some of it. I mean, I know gloves existed, but I've never seen one of these before in my life. You know, I've worked in manufacturing all my life. And, you know, this thing right here, this is a godsend. Little old 32-ounce vapor or spray or spot sprayer, non-aerosol, works off a shop air. I don't know how many bottles of brake cleaner and gunk cleaner and all that crap that I bought over the years and had to throw away those cans. And this thing is man, I wish I'd have known about it years ago. Let's put it that way. Anyway, it was what, 30 bucks on Amazon, 20 bucks, something like that. And I got a gallon of I think it's brake cleaner, something like that, for it. Shop air, and I won't buy another can of brake cleaner anymore. So, but anyway, you know, Adam Booth, you know, follow along some of these channels. You know, I rave and rave about those Melissa and Doug's oil cups, and those things are awesome too. And something you never know it if you never, you know, watched any, you know, YouTube videos. So that's that. And then another thing, these are the gloves that I normally use. These are Venom Steel. You can buy them at Lowe's or get them on Amazon or something like that. And these are very, very good gloves. Until I saw Adam Booth use these gloves. And I said, well, shoot, I'll order a box. Well, the first thing I said, man, there's a whole lot more in them. And I said, no, there's not but 100. Well, you can tell the box different. You know, the height different than the height. These things are so much thicker. It's crazy how much thicker they are. They're textured. My wife works about, she has to drive about 100 miles a day back and forth to work, and I have to change her oil every month just about. So I changed her oil, and those gloves work great. The grip was good on the oil filter. They cleaned right up. I loved it. So that's another thing. I bought a new camcorder, not an expensive one, just a Canon Vixia HFR 800, and that's what I'm filming with now. I used it for live streaming, and it worked very well for that. So my editing computer that I have in the house, or my big computer, can input HDMI. So I said, what the heck, we're going to try it because it's got zoom capabilities. Usually I just use a webcam, but this worked really good. So I don't know if the quality is as good as my DSLR, which, you know, once I edit this, I'll be able to tell. But the autofocus, I really love the way the autofocus works. So, you know, I can get close to it and it doesn't lose the focus, or I can back up and it tracks me pretty well. Much better than a DSLR camera does. So, but I bought that and we're gonna try this video with this. And if I don't like it, I'm gonna go back to my DSLR. But, you know, just looking, you know, if anybody's seen a little camcorder, this is the camera I normally shoot with. I use a 50mm lens normally inside the shop. This camera shoots awesome video. So if it doesn't work out, we're gonna go back to this. And then another thing, my microphone, I use a inexpensive Audio-Technica that you buy on Amazon for about, I don't know, 19, 20 bucks. And I cut the ends off and I installed them onto a Bluetooth adapter. So it's a cordless or wireless lavalier mic. And many of you know I'm a ham radio operator. And if you're into ham radio, you know Bob Heil, or if you're into music, you know Bob Heil. Bob Heil is a ham radio operator, but he also happens to own and make some of the best microphones in the world. He also makes some Bluetooth adapters and some other, you know, electronic stuff. But he has these Bluetooth adapters, and I just connected one end to one end, one to the camera here. So I use this for my wireless lavalier mic. It works very good. I won these at a ham fest. I went to a conference a couple years ago and he happened to be there, so we were talking, and then lo and behold, you know, I've never won anything at one of these ham fests before in my life, or conferences, and I won a set of those, so they've come in very handy. So anyway, that's the shop. I wanted to give a quick update, nothing specific. You know, we've been working at the taper attachment, anything that can be cleaned that I can pick up by myself and get into the parts cleaner. We've been doing that. So I'm pretty sure I'll probably have the material ordered for the jib crane by next week. Hopefully it'll only take about a week to get here. They stock everything except for the I-beam. They have to order the I-beam. So however long it takes to get the I-beam. I'm not in any hurry. I told them not to be in any hurry. So, you know, I like my steel supplier. They do a very good job and they keep a lot of stuff there, and they treat us very well. So I told them it wasn't no hurry. So that's what we're gonna do. But we wanna keep on getting it done. So my brother's bought, you know, he has his Lincoln, what is it, that Lincoln 210 TIG welder. I think we're gonna weld it up with a stick, so we're probably gonna use this, we're gonna use 7018s, but we're gonna use the little welder to weld that up with. And he also has a big Lincoln 250 GXT, and he bought, they were a deal a few months ago. You buy the GXT and you get the free TIG welder. So he did that. They're still sitting in the boxes in the shop here. So we have a lot of content that we want to put together. He wants to build a welding trailer. We'll show that. I need to get the lathe done so I can move on and get the powder coating oven done. And then we'll just continue on with that. So, you know, with that, hopefully it won't be a week or so. I'll keep getting videos put out. I don't want to put out the same content of me wire brushing and painting lathe parts. So I'd like to get all that stuff done. If something's interesting, like the, of course, the apron and the gearbox, for sure we'll show that, you know, especially if we have to rebuild anything in there. And then we'll get all that stuff and we'll definitely show everything going back together like that. I did go pick up the oil for the headstock. That headstock is ready to be filled up and ready to go, and spin that sucker around, make sure the oil pump's working, and we'll be ready to go. All right, till next time, see ya.